what's going on YouTube? This is gonna be my video that I'm posting for my weekly confirmations that I'm looking out for to possibly trade this week or next week. So let's go ahead and get straight into the video. All right, starting off with my first ticker is going to be ASTS, Space Mobile Inc. Looking at the monthly time frame, this thing looks like a literal rocket. So extremely bullish candle on this month. It's already up $40.94 on this month. Looking at the weekly time frame, we have two floating candles that are 200% volume. So that's a lot of volume per week. All right, and then we have this same retest of trying to break out the 120 mark. Go ahead and go down to the daily time frame. As you can see, we still holding the trend. We had a few WTMA and 12 EMA retests. And as you can see, we tapped 120, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times. So until this breaks down and breaks trend, I'm going to bank on this thing breaking 120 and ripping higher. All right, looking at the 4 hour. Actually, on the 4 hour, it tapped it even more times. That's about 5 taps. So we do have the WTMA curling down just a little bit, like flattening out. That's because liquidity is right here at this level. So we know that the WTMA tracks liquidity. So if price doesn't break above this, you'll commonly see wicks that goes right through it and come right back down. So on the 4 hour, we got this fair value gap and a 12 EMA retest. So I'm looking for this retest to actually succeed. Then we won't break 120. And then the 2 hour. This is the smallest time frame I look at on my swings. So as you can see, inverse arc, floating candle, rejection, come back down to the 12 EMA and inside of the WTMA cloud, wick inside of this fair value gap, and it printed a buy. So usually when this indicator prints a buy, it's detecting bullishness, right? So you can see right here, look at this doji right here. It's a red doji, but you can see the price came all the way back down and then they brought it all the way back up. So that's technically a bullish candle. All right, next ticker is going to be Coca-Cola. KO! All right, so looking at the monthly time frame, it's just stair-stepping up. As you can see, it's at all-time highs right now. Look how many times Coca-Cola has tapped this same level, this 72, 73 area on monthly time frames. You ever seen that FBI open up meme? That's what I'm thinking right here. Especially with all this tariff talk and all this, Coca-Cola has been valued as a defensive stock. So that's what I'm looking for here. Once this breaks over that, this thing is going to rip. All right, here we go. So in the weekly time frame, now you can see why it's rejecting, right? So look at this WTMA right here. As you can see, same level again. So you can see where price respects the WTMA like so cleanly. But I'm thinking, man, once we get this breaker structure right here and this order block pops up right here, we're gone. We're off to the races. I can't even count how many times this tapped this supply. Not even going to attempt to. All right, let's look at the daily time frame. Go ahead and slide this here. All right. So on the daily time frame, we're having an internal order block that's stopping the bullish move right now. But we already know that Coca-Cola has revisited this price so many times. So So many times it rejects. All it does is accumulate more bullishness um, until it fails, which is already done so many times. Like every time it come to like this level, this gray line right here, it'll reject. Come close to it, reject, reject, reject. So now I'm thinking with all this volume, it's ready to rip through. So technically, we're looking for order block deletion once price closes and opens above this 73.22 level. Same thing with the 4 hour. Same order block. Same order block. Then let's look at the 2 hour, the execution time frame. Yeah, same order block. So once it passes this 73.22 level, it's going to accelerate to 74 and a half or 74. Yeah, 74 and a half, pretty fast, and it might sweep, um, like it's been doing. Like it might revisit, it might puncture this order block and then drop back down to retest this same level where it broke out originally from. So that's my take on Coca-Cola. Next ticker is USAR. So as you can see on the monthly, it hasn't been on the stock market that long. So we're going to negate this one. All right, on the weekly, we have a fresh inverse arc, almost a floating candle. Not quite though, but it's almost floating. But actually, let me see. Oh, it is floating. Look at that. No touch. That's what we're looking for. And it's paired up with a 200% bullish weekly candle. Look at that volume right there. Yes, sir. All right, go ahead and go to the daily time frame. All right, so I originally called this play out about a week ago. I think it was like the 19th or the 20th. I had my community get 20 calls once it broke past this level right here, this historical resistance. And as you can see, that play became very lucrative for some. However, I passed on the play because it ripped up so fast that I didn't even get a chance to get into it. But as I saw it fighting through this bearish order block and empty VRVP nodes on the side, I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to break and then come up to about 26.92 to sweep liquidity and then drop back down. So I purchased 325 calls on Friday, and we get news yesterday that the Trump administration has invested 1.6 billion into USAR. And currently USAR is trading at 29.49 when the stock market opened at 7 p.m. on today, Sunday. So that play is going to be very good if it continues. So at 29.49, we had a liquidity level on the 3-day, I believe. Yep, right here. 29.49. I'm telling you, this WTMA is unmatched. There's nothing like it. There's no indicator out there that can track liquidity like this. Look at this. 29.49. Look at that. Actually, I'll do it this way. Look at that. Look at that. So it might reject here. And then it's going to probably fall right around here, this 27, where this high volume node is. And then retest, and it's going to rock it off. So, yeah, that's what I saw in the daily time frame. On the 4 hour, I mean, all of this is technically null and void right now since it gapped up so hard and fast. But originally, it needed to break 27.83 to continue up on the 4 hour. And then I believe on the 2 hour, it has a level of like 31. Yep, 31 to 32. And once it break past those two, there's nothing that's going to stop it. So USAR is a very good play right now. All right, next ticker we're gonna look at is Amazon. All right, looking at the monthly, you can see this huge V-shaped recovery with the retest of the previous all-time highs. Boom, another leg up. Then it made higher lows and higher highs. So too easy. On the weekly time frame, we have what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we have a fresh inverse arc with an extremely bullish candle with a drop to retest the WTMA and the 12 EMA. So you can see this long wick right here. You can see that the trend is upheld. I'll just go ahead and draw this trend line right here to connect all of those. And then draw this as a triangle. Boom. So you can kind of see it forming right here. I'm gonna do a path, right? You can kind of see it. So we're looking at this right here, that move right there, and then break back down, then boom. So that's what we're looking for on Amazon. Not quite an inverse arc on the daily yet, but on the 4-hour, we already know that it's there. Look at that. And a 200% candle on the first half of Friday. So that is very good. And look at this small pause candle right here with that volume. So we already know Amazon can break up. So we're primarily looking for Amazon to break over this trend line and the WTMA cloud right here, signified by this orange line right here and this gray inside. Once it breaks past that, it can accelerate up to 248, 249 very easily. Then I'm go ahead and look at the 2-hour. Yeah, so we need to break above 240. I'll say 70. No, actually, I'll say 241.34 for the next move up. And then it can accelerate up to this liquidity, which is at the same level I just mentioned at 248 to 249. And then once it break those, we off the all-time highs again. Next is Bloom Energy. I called this play out 2 weeks ago. I kind of forgot about it though. I do frequent trade plans in my community, so it's easy to lose track. But as long as the community eating, hey, I'm good. So looking at the monthly, we had a huge rip up with the retest of the WTMA, and then another huge rip up for this month. All right, on the weekly, oh my goodness, we have a fresh inverse with 2 floating candles. All right, one of them hitting the all-time high. That is very good. On the daily time frame, we have, as you can see, liquidity is forming up here. So you see the WTMA curling down. So what we're going to see is WTMA starts to curl down. It's going to retest this 12 EMA or the WTMA cloud right here, and then bounce up and break that level. Yep, here's the 4-hour. You can see that it is retesting the 12 EMA, the 20 SMA, and the WTMA cloud. That is some kind of confluence right there. And you can see that it hit these empty VRVP nodes and rejected the down move. So it accelerated down through these empty nodes right here, hit this high volume node level, and popped back up. So the moment it breaks above like 145.10 ish, it's probably going to rip up to 148 pretty fast before it makes its next move. All right, looking at the 2-hour. The 2 hours is about to make an inverse arc, and that is our entry time frame. So what you want to look for is, let me go ahead and draw it for you. This is what you want to look for with Amazon. Boom. And then I'll go ahead and do this right here. That is what you want to see with Amazon right there. But depending on how fast the move happens, this might be way sharper up. It'll be in an acute angle up. So be on the lookout for that. All right, and the bonus ticker. I'll go ahead and go to the silver futures since it's actively trading right now. As you can see on the month, 200 volume, 2 months in a row. Looking at the weekly time frame. Look at that. It barely even retested WTMA how parabolic this is going. On the daily, so I drew my own fib lines right here because auto fib did not work. Here's the prior higher low and then the most recent higher low. And it gave me these levels right here because, you know, at the time this week happened and this week happened, that's where you want to get your fibs drawn. So these fibs has been pretty, you know, pretty good so far. So as you can see, it respected this one, came back down, boom, wick through this one, boom, leg up to this fib, open another week, well, another day, boom. Yeah, I mean, it's like clockwork. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the 4 hour. All right, this is what we're currently looking at right now as of 125, my birthday. I'm 34, man, I'm old. As you can see, you know, I did the fib and fib technique. So let's go ahead and remove these. I want to show you what I did. Okay, so here goes the original fibs right here. All right, so you want to do this on the daily time frame first. All right, so there you go. You see that this candle is currently in this section, the 1 and the 1.618 section. So what you want to do is draw a fib from here to here. Where is boom? Nope, not that one. There it is. All right, that's the one you want to do. And as you can see, it literally respected that this new fibs level. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and drop down to the 4 hour so you can see it more cleanly. All right, so right now it's testing the fair value gap. And then if you want to get even more detailed, like say for instance, you say this fib is too large, you want to do it again with that one. Boom. All right, so now you can go to the 2 hour. Nah, let's go to the 1 hour. Look, yep, there it is, right there. Look. 1 hour. Boom. Respect it. Came back down. WTMA almost retest. Bam. Respect it. Literally to the cent. All right. Boom. Come back down to this one. All right. Boom. Close. You know, no man's land right here. That's fine. Come back down. Boom. You can see it's retesting one right now. Like literally right now. So, yeah, that's what I see with silver. Once it break past this level of 109.75, 111.5 is going to be fairly easy. It's already up $7. Yeah, it's already up $7.50 before 2 hours. No, 4 hours since the futures open. So yeah, I'll be giving an update on my leap tomorrow. I also bought a February 20th call in my small account, so that's going to be sitting pretty. It's already up 108%. So yeah, these are my confirmations for this week and beyond, because what people don't realize is that the wolf chart is early, but it's not too early. Like, it's early once institutions get in, then we can see them get in. But it's not too early that you get a fake out candle, you jump in, and then it just reverses on you. So we actually follow a confirmation system. So that's what I got. If you want to learn how to do what I do, go ahead and drop questions in the comments. Don't drop wolf chart. Drop questions in the freaking comments, man. Until next time, peace.